What's up, YouTubers? I just wanted to point this out on DWAC here. I know I have a lot of lines going on, and I haven't made a video on YouTube in a while, but I've been making a lot of trades, usually a day or two apart. I'm trying to sell them every couple days or so. It's really how I've been running them, but mainly I'm watching the daily and the weekly time frames now. I know, like the last video I made on XPEV, I had talked about how I was playing 15-minute and 1-hour patterns. That was working in the time, but now we're kind of getting to a point where it's not really working as well. So you want to look at the daily and the weekly stuff. So for me right now, where DWAC is sitting, even just looking at this chart, zooming in here, we can see that we have a potential double bottom coming in right now. And although it's not the most beautiful looking thing because we kind of rolled over off a bear flag, so it's not really showing too much, it is something to watch. What I kind of drew in here was once I know there's so many lines it's hard to say, but let me just explain it real quick. We had our huge blow off top. We made somewhat of a double bottom with a higher low. We kind of trended into a rising wedge that when we peaked right here around this 102, the next retest here, we ended up failing. We came down, we found some support here between this support, and this was the third touch. We started pulling back up, but then we got rejection. I put this yellow line in here, roughly where we got rejection on the bodies. And then we rolled down and we lost that support and we completely fell. So that right there, right here, kind of shows us that there's not much support between this $49.73 and this $64 range. So that if we were to eventually break that, we could blast up here pretty easily, which is a nice trade idea as well. But what I'm kind of looking at as this is a potential double bottom. Now that I'm looking at it, this left side of the W is not the best. It could just be another bear flag of some sort, of course. But for now, we can see a nice daily candle here. So, if we can get some continuation in the next few days, this could lead us up to potentially $50.46. We see that I have this white line right here, which was this wick on the daily, this wick on the daily. It was pretty much looking like an ascending triangle, or if we drew the top line of it, a rising or a bull flag or a bear flag even. Something like this. It's really choppy because we had this big fake, kind of like a fake out drop, found some support down here at 32, came back up, rejected again up here at this 53, fell through. So if we deleted this line here, it would kind of look like a potential large rising wedge of some sort. So, these are a few things to watch. Now, I do have this larger pattern in here, just speculation. We tapped here. When we tapped here, that really sent us on a huge run up to this line. This line also started from this huge peak wick way up at top here. It's not drawn perfectly. I could make it perfect because I'm actually in a trade on this that I'm going to get into in a second. But if we go off of that peak and this right here, we can see that we, as of right now, have two touches on that point, and we didn't really get to it here. We got rejected. We keep making, obviously, lower highs. So, what we want to see here is a break above $50, a break above $54. That could send us up here to retest the 70s. I'm not saying this thing's going to get that bullish, but I am in a trade here. I did enter. I'll go down to the 15-minute. Just to show where I had entered in this right now in the 15-minute, we can see if we were to say, where's the support? It's pretty clear that once we tap this white line here, which is a zoomed in line of this right here, you can see one tap here, ripped us all the way up to that yellow line, got huge rejection. One tap here, ripped us up. Are we going to get a test of that yellow line, or are we going to get rejected? That's obviously soon. Time is going to tell soon. We could draw this in like that. That would give us, kind of a falling channel of some sort. But this is a 15-minute. I don't really want to confuse myself. I don't like to make too many lines. This already has way too much lines for my taste. So on this 15-minute, it does look like a potential of a double bottom right here. If this was to come up to the neckline or to the top of this channel here, that's roughly around this 54.13. If we were to get rejected on this yellow line here, that's roughly 50.48 or 46. So that's really where I'm trading from. I did enter down here between this $42 range. I got in right at this flat resistance. I had a buy order set, limit buy order set here above 42. We got a very nice spike And then we started trending. I was looking to rebuy there, but as you can see, we've just been continuously rolling up in this potential rising channel of some sort here. On the 15-minute, we can kind of draw it out like that. We'll have to see how it plays out, if it does play out as something of that sort. If it did, obviously we could continue chopping through here, or we could end up rolling over here. I'm not sure. I don't really want to chart this 15-minute too much. But, you know, that resistance is up at this 45.73, kind of lines up perfectly with that wick. But it's definitely something to watch, as we are potentially trying to head ourselves up into that range. So for now, I'm in between 42, and also I also added at 43.90. That was a little higher of a play, but we did see some support down in that range here, right about. Well, actually, it was a little lower, so it might have been on a smaller. Oh, right here, you can see 43.80 roughly. How we continuously sent some wicks up into this 44, 43 area. Boom, wick, couldn't close any bodies. Then eventually right here at 43.94, we did close this 15-minute candle, and we've been kind of pulling since. This resistance right here around 45.50 is going to be an area short term. If we can break it and start trending on top of this line, that could send us up to rally to the 50s. But, you know, I know there was a shit ton of numbers. Hopefully you guys were able to follow on what my plan is, what I'm kind of doing right now. But I am just kind of watching for this daily here to hopefully close above this 45.30 area and then continue and not just roll over and then make a new low. Obviously, if we get a red daily and we start turning back down, we might be coming back down to this 38.32. So you got to have your stops in place. But if this does continue up as a double bottom of some sort, we could see a pretty strong move. I don't think in the 70s, but you know, my idea was really just to pull it up to this line here. Or I was actually looking just for 50 personally. If we were to break that 50 and tap up here in the 55s, that's cool. But I'm just playing at the 50.46 roughly. I'll take off half my shares, and then I will, you know, let the rest kind of ride and stop myself in profits. But hopefully this helps. You know, it's an ugly chart right now, but it does get some movement, and I think I'm seeing something on the daily that could set up. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this trade up in this candle somewhere, and we'll see how the tomorrow goes. So just wanted to put this one out there. I hope this wasn't too boring, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.